Incredible heartwarming journey. Billionaire discovers amazing love as abandoned triplets transform his life. Ryan Caldwell, a self-made billionaire, ran through the bustling suburban streets, the morning sun glistening off his immaculate sneakers. But deep inside, an emptiness gnawed at him, a sinking feeling that even all his wealth couldn't fill. Wealth felt hollow, like a mansion without laughter echoing through its halls. Everything changed that day as he stumbled upon a small park, a vibrant patch of green amidst the gray of an indifferent world. In that park, chaos reigned. 3 little tornadoes spun around a weary woman, their laughter ringing out like silver bells, joyous and full of life. A single mother, Sarah, was desperately trying to corral her rambunctious triplets. She wore a faint smile overburdened by worry, a mask Ryan instantly recognized. He couldn't help it. Something in him stirred. Those kids were everything he once admired: wild, carefree, and blissfully unaware of the weight of responsibility. "Hey kids," he called, his voice slightly shaky, trying to drown out the turmoil in his heart. The triplets paused, their bright eyes shining with intrigue as they regarded him like a living legend. Sarah flashed him an appreciative grin, though her eyes revealed a well of exhaustion. Ryan approached, drawn closer and engulfed in their chaotic play. Days turned to weeks, and Ryan found solace in those moments at the park. Between the wild laughter and sticky ice cream fingers, he glimpsed a world unlike his cold boardrooms and opulent galas. As he watched Sarah navigate single motherhood, the struggles she faced began to unravel the fabric of his own priorities. He considered the real heartbeats of his community, the invisible battles waged by those who lived in the shadows of society. A desire sparked within him, a burning need to bridge the gap between him and those he once saw from a distance. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. But all was not well. Richard, a local business owner known as a war hero, watched from the sidelines, his eyes narrowing at Ryan's apparent interest in the community. To him, Ryan was a threat, an outsider waving money in a community that treasured grit and sacrifice. Rumors spread like wildfire, gossip swirling through neighborhood corners, raising suspicion about Ryan's true intentions. Even as he formed a foundation to support the triplets and others like them, the skepticism only grew. The night before a pivotal community fundraiser, unease weighed on Ryan like a thick fog. Sarah and the triplets had unknowingly woven their way into his heart, and yet, whispers of betrayal coiled tighter around him. Just then, the doorbell rang at Sarah's home. The uncertainty on her face, fear and hope intermingling, held Ryan's breath captive. Could love truly flourish amidst the chaos? Would he risk everything he had for a bond more precious than the riches he once cherished? A storm brewed on the horizon, setting the stage for a confrontation that could shatter all they had built together. The question lingered. Would Ryan find a way to prove his devotion and overcome the odds? Or was the world he yearned to be part of forever closed to him? Ryan's heart raced as the door swung open. Sarah stood there, her face a mix of surprise and apprehension. The bright smile that usually lit up her face had dimmed, a shadow creeping over her eyes. "Oh, Ryan," she breathed, stepping aside to let him in. The triplets dashed past him, their squeals harmonizing with the lively buzz of the evening. They scampered into the living room, leaving behind colorful rushes of energy. Ryan bent down, allowing their excitement to wash over him, feeling the warmth of their little bodies and laughter drown out his worries for a moment. "What's up, buddy?" he greeted them, ruffling their hair as they clambered onto him, demanding his attention. But even amidst the chaos, he couldn't shake the tension that hung thick in the air between him and Sarah. She leaned against the doorframe, her arms crossed, watching him with uncertain eyes. The bubbly laughter of the triplets felt like a distant echo, signaling a growing rift. "Can we talk?" she finally asked, her voice low. Ryan nodded, though fear knotted in his stomach. What if she shared the village's doubts? What if she felt pressured by Richard's warnings? They moved to the kitchen, where the remnants of their last meal lay untouched on the table, a stark reminder that what seemed like a picturesque life was a facade. "Ryan, I've been hearing things," she began, glancing away, hands twisting nervously. "The rumors, they seem to be growing." "Rumors?" he pressed, stepping closer. "About me? About what?" "People they think you're just throwing money at us. That you're here to save face and nothing more." A twinge of hurt pierced through Ryan. "That's not true, Sarah. I want to help." "Help? Or buy your way in?" She looked back at him, pain etched on her delicate features. His breath hitched. The question wasn't he knew, but hearing it voiced brought a wave of disillusionment crashing down on him. He had hoped that, by forming the foundation, he'd eliminated the worry. The very belief that he was open and genuine now felt like a double-edged sword. "I'm not. You have to believe me. You and the kids, you're more important to me than any business transaction." The words fell from his lips, desperate but sincere. "Then show me, Ryan. Show me you're here for more than just a charity photo op." Her tone was firm, challenging, and yet soft, laced with a hint of vulnerability. Ryan felt the weight of her words. He wanted to get through to her, wanted to prove that his intentions were pure. But how? The triplets' shouts danced in from the other room, innocent and unknowing, and it fueled a determination that surged within him. "Then let me be part of your lives. Really part of them. Let me support you without the shadow of suspicion," he implored, his heart racing at the possibility of hope as Sarah's eyes searched his. Ryan caught the brief flicker of a smile, yet it faded quickly, uncertainty still wrapping around them both. Then, the doorbell rang again, jolting them both from the moment. The laughter paused, and the triplets exchanged glances, their playful curiosity piqued. "What now?" Sarah frowned, the weariness of the day creeping back in. Ryan felt a chill. What if it was Richard, or someone with ill intentions? A new threat was looming, and uncertainty clawed at him once more. As he walked towards the door, he turned back one last time to look at Sarah. The bond they began to forge felt at stake, and he had no idea how this night would alter everything. With a deep breath, he opened the door, bracing himself for anything or anyone that could tip the scales of their fragile world. Would this moment harden the barriers between them, or could it lead to something deeper? The door creaked open, and a chill filled the air with possibilities. Ryan opened the door slowly, his heart pounding. A gust of cool air swept through the entrance, chilling him as his eyes adjusted to the figure on the porch. It was a man dressed in a tailored suit, his face obscured by the shadows cast from the porch light. He exuded an air of authority, intimidating yet oddly familiar. "Ryan Hart?" the man asked, his voice smooth but firm. "Yeah, that's me," Ryan replied, curiously sizing up this unexpected visitor. "I'm Thomas, a consultant for the foundation," he said, extending his hand. "I've come to discuss some matters regarding your recent donation." A knot formed in Ryan's stomach. "Now?" "I was just in the middle of something." Thomas waved a dismissive hand, stepping inside without an invitation. "This won't take long. We have some pressing issues that need your attention." Ryan hesitated, glancing back at Sarah. She stood in the kitchen doorway, her brow furrowed, and he could see the worry twisting in her expression. Her eyes flickered to the intruder, and he could feel the tension in the room tightening again. "Maybe now isn't the right time," Ryan started, his voice softening. "Now is the perfect time," Thomas interrupted, his confidence unwavering. "Your actions are now drawing attention, some of it not good. If we don't address this immediately, you risk more than just public perception. You risk the integrity of your whole project." Public perception? The words hung heavy in the air, feeding into the doubt that had seeped into the cracks of Ryan's mind ever since Sarah had brought up the rumors. What more could he hear tonight that would further unsettle him? "Yes, people are starting to doubt your sincerity, Ryan. They think this is merely an optics game for you," Thomas continued, his voice lowering slightly, as if they were sharing a secret. We have to mend these ties before they break completely. And how do you suggest I do that? Ryan asked, his frustration bubbling. Should I host a gala? A press conference? Feels like throwing money at the problem. Actually, yes. A public display would reassure everyone involved. Not just the community but your investors as well, he replied matter-of-factly. But this isn't just about money. Ryan insisted, feeling the urgency settle in his chest. He turned to Sarah again, despair rising. I'm here for the kids and for you. I don't want to put on a show. I know, Thomas said, his tone shifting, almost sympathetic. But perception is everything. If you don't act, people will fill in the gaps with their own narratives. We can't let that happen. The triplets, growing weary of the adult conversation, trotted back into the kitchen, hands reaching for snacks and shouting their silly demands. Their innocence filled the space and diffused some of the tension, but Ryan's mind was churning. Did he abandon his principles for the sake of image? Ryan, Sarah's voice probed, drawing him back into the moment. What do you want to do? His eyes bounced between Thomas, the glowing faces of the triplets, and finally, Sarah. It all felt like an impossible balance, his values against the collective expectations, his desire to truly connect against the need to play the game. I want to show everyone my heart, he finally said, his voice firm with conviction. But I want to do it on my terms. Thomas assessed him for a moment, then nodded slightly. Then you should start now. Show them you're part of their community, not above it. The kids are your best gateway. Ryan took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the world press down on him. All right, he said, determination flooding his veins. I'll do it. But I want it to be genuine, not a facade. He turned towards Sarah, who wore a mixture of relief and concern. It was clear they had a shared mission now, to unfold a truth that would bridge their worlds. But the path ahead felt blurry. Was this what he truly wanted? Would this strengthen or fracture their bond? With his mind racing and heart and fear mingling, Ryan felt driven, as if every glance exchanged with Sarah held the promise of deeper understanding and uncertainty. The triplets tugged at his shirt, pulling him back into their joyous world. But Ryan's thoughts were elsewhere. What would the community think? What if they didn't accept him? What if? The evening loomed heavy with potential, every moment felt charged. Just as he looked down, the door creaked again, a second visitor stepping into their newfound tension. Sorry I'm late, she said, breathless, as she crossed the threshold. The air shifted again. Ryan met her gaze, his heart skipping. This was just the beginning of everything unraveling, but could it lead to the connection he so desperately needed? Ryan's heart raced as he recognized the newcomer. It was Emily, a childhood friend he hadn't seen in years. Her blonde hair cascaded over her shoulders, and her cheeks were flushed, either from the cold evening air or from a hurried run. Despite the shock of her unexpected arrival, something familiar and warm tugged at his chest. Emily, is that really you? He managed to stutter, momentarily forgetting the weight of Thomas's conversation. Hey, Ryan, I'm so sorry to just drop in like this. I was passing through town and thought I'd check in, see how you and Sarah are doing. She looked past him, her smile fading as her eyes fell on Thomas. Am I interrupting something? No, not at all, Ryan responded quickly, shooting a faint smile at Sarah, who still held her worried expression. We were just talking, right, about the plan to, support the kids, Thomas interjected, shifting his stance slightly, making it clear he was still in control of the room. Emily nodded, sensing the tension. Support the kids. Huh? Sounds like you're involved in something really important. Her gaze bounced between Ryan and Sarah, noticing the heavy atmosphere that had settled. Can I help? Ryan's chest tightened again, but this time it was for a different reason. Could she truly understand what was at stake here? Yeah, really, he hesitated, weighing how much he should reveal. It's complicated. The community. They're starting to doubt me, and I'm trying to figure out a way to earn their trust back. I get it, Emily replied softly. But if you're serious about this, why not involve the community more? From the start? You can't be the one in control all the time. Look at the triplets. They resonate with everyone. They're a great way in. The children, hearing their names, perked up with wide eyes. They giggled as they scurried closer, captivated by the newcomer. "Who is she, Ryan?" one of the triplets asked, tugging on his sleeve. "This is Emily. She's an old friend of mine," he replied, a warmth growing in his heart at their innocent curiosity. "Will you read us a story?" Another triplet piped in, their excitement spilling over the seriousness of the conversation. Of course. Emily's face lit up, and Ryan couldn't help but smile back as she crouched down to their level. "What's your favorite story? Let us make it a special one." As Emily engaged with the triplets, Ryan watched, feeling a swell of hope. Here was someone who understood community. She didn't hesitate to be part of this moment, and he felt a spark that reminded him of the life he wanted to build not just for himself, but for everyone around him. Thomas cleared his throat, breaking their brief enchantment. "Ryan, I suggest we keep our focus on the larger network. These kids are your strength, but we need a broader strategy." Or maybe, Emily cut in, her voice steady, "What you need is to listen to the kids. They want to feel valued. Sometimes the best strategy is being open and real." The tension in the air shifted again. Ryan could see the wheels turning in Thomas's head. He looked at Emily, a hint of gratitude mixed with newfound determination sparkling in his eyes. "You're right," he said decisively, "but I can't do it alone. I need both of you." Sarah's face brightened, a light flickering in her eyes as she turned to Emily. "We could pull together some community events, make it fun. We can show them we're here, not just for a photo op but for real connections." The three of them huddled around a table now, voices lifting with ideas, sharing laughter, and weaving hopes for the triplets as they drew closer, eager to listen and join in this surprised collaboration. The air felt lighter, inviting. But deep down, Ryan also felt a swell of uncertainty. Was this the right move? Could he truly share his world? Would Emily's arrival open more doors? Or would it complicate everything further? As the kids laughed and their excited voices filled the kitchen, Ryan couldn't shake the feeling that something monumental was about to unravel. "Okay, so what's our first move?" he asked, excitement mixing with apprehension. As they began brainstorming, the door rattled again, revealing yet another face from the past. "Hey, hope I'm not crashing anything." Ryan's heart sank. He had no idea what was coming next. Would this first event bring them together or tear them apart? Ryan turned slowly, his pulse quickening at the sight of the newcomer. The last person he expected to see here now was Alex, his childhood rival. Always competitive, always looking to one-up him. Alex's confident smile seemed to fill the doorway as he leaned casually against the frame. The mood in the room plummeted. Thomas shot Ryan a look, his expression unreadable but concerned. Sarah shifted, clearly uneasy with this unexpected twist. The triplets, blissfully unaware of the past tension, giggled and waved at Alex, their innocence a bright spot in the gloom. "Ryan, long time no see," Alex exclaimed, striding into the room like he owned the place. "I heard you were back in town. Saw your name in the newsletter. Planning something big?" "Huh? Just working on some community stuff," Ryan replied, forcing a casual tone. Deep down, he felt like a storm was brewing. The last thing he needed was Alex's flashy charm making this harder. "Oh, community stuff?" Alex raised an eyebrow, a smirk creeping onto his face. "That's cute. Are you planning on putting together a bake sale or something?" He laughed lightly, his voice echoing in the space, and the warmth Ryan had felt not moments before began to erode. Sarah stepped forward. "Actually, we were just discussing some events to help raise community involvement. The serious work." "Great, then let us make sure to do it right." The enthusiasm in Alex's voice was over the top, as if he were feeding off the tension in the room. "I'd love to help, of course. It's about time someone showed this town a true leader." Ryan clenched his fists. He couldn't let Alex derail everything they had just begun to build. "We have a plan," he replied firmly, trying to keep his voice steady. "We don't need any distractions." "Oh, come on," Alex shot back, a gleam in his eye. "You're not one for drama, are you? After all, what's the fun in that? Besides, the more, the merrier, right?" Emily tilted her head, taking in the two men, feeling the rising clash between them. Maybe we should just focus on the kids and what they want, she suggested, stepping between them. They're excited about our ideas. Let us keep it positive, right? One of the triplets piped up, tugging at Emily's shirt. We want a big party. See? Emily smiled, and for a moment, the tension eased. Ryan knows what to do. Whatever we plan, it should be for them. This is their moment. But Ryan could feel Alex's insistent gaze lingering on him like a black cloud. Of course, let us make it about the kids, Alex pivoted, addressing the triplets with that winning smile. What about something like a fundraiser at the community center? Carnival, maybe? Everyone loves a good carnival. Ryan's stomach twisted. That is a lot to take on. We don't have the resources for something that big right now. Why not? Alex questioned, challenges dancing in his eyes. Resources are just a matter of getting the right people on board. And I know a lot of them. The triplets bounced eagerly, eyes sparkling at the carnival idea. Can we have games? And cotton candy? They chirped, completely caught up in Alex's suggestion. Ryan shot a quick glance at Emily and Sarah, unsure of how to navigate this. He could sense their excitement but felt overwhelmed by the direction this was going. Was Alex truly on board? Or was he here to sweep in and take control? Okay, he began, trying to find his footing. Let us think about this more. We can divide up tasks. Emily, you take ideas for activities. Sarah, maybe reach out for sponsors? I can help with that. Alex interjected, stepping closer as if he were already a part of the team. I have connections. I can get this carnival off the ground in no time. Ryan's heart thudded in his chest. How could he refuse? And did he really want to? As the kids jumped and clapped, Ryan felt lost. Could this chaotic mix of old and new help him find the community revitalization he so desperately wanted? As ideas continued to whirl around the room, Ryan caught Thomas's gaze, filled with caution. The path ahead was increasingly convoluted, and Ryan couldn't shake the feeling that they were unwittingly inviting chaos into their plans. Let us meet tomorrow with whatever we've gathered, Ryan finally decided, the uncertainty of the future looming over him like a storm cloud. Maybe we can figure out what this carnival will really look like then. The door swung open again, bringing another voice that sent chills down Ryan's spine. Am I too late for the party? Ryan's heart stopped as he turned toward the door, his stomach twisting tighter than a pretzel. Standing there was Maya, someone he had never expected to see again. Her hair was pulled back into a messy bun, and she wore a faded t-shirt bearing the name of a nearby college. An eyebrow raised in curiosity, her expression flickered between surprise and amusement. Yet that familiar warmth tugged at Ryan's heart. Maya? He managed, his voice barely above a whisper. The memories flooded back, the laughter, the late-night talks, the moments when everything felt right. But they had drifted apart. He had lost track of her after moving away for college. Alex's presence felt like a storm cloud overshadowing his fleeting joy. Great, the party just got bigger, he declared, feigning enthusiasm. Everyone's attention shifted to Maya, the atmosphere thick with anticipation. The triplets bombarded her with questions about what games she liked, their excitement providing a bright distraction. But Ryan's mind was elsewhere, battling the whirlpool of emotions. Yeah, I heard about the carnival idea, Maya replied, her eyes searching Ryan's face. Sounds fun, can I help? Yes. The triplets exclaimed in unison, bouncing on their toes as if they were on springboards. Thomas glanced sideways at Ryan, offering a mixture of encouragement and confusion. Ryan could feel the weight of the moment, as if the walls of the room closed in. Maya brings great energy, he said, trying to regain control. We can definitely use that. Energy is one thing, Alex chimed in, crossing his arms. But do we really want someone unqualified making decisions? It's not just a fun project, it's a carnival. Who are you to judge? Ryan retorted, anger flaring in his chest. Maya's always been passionate about community work. Ryan's right, Maya interjected, her voice calm but firm. Maybe I haven't been around for the planning, but I care about this town. I grew up here too. Ryan felt a tug of admiration for her resilience. She had always had a fire inside, and now, seeing her standing tall amidst the tension, reignited something within him. "All right," he proposed, trying to cool the brewing storm. "How about we split responsibilities? Emily can work on activities, Sarah can find sponsors, and Maya, I can handle promotions and big-picture ideas," Maya suggested, cutting him off. "I've got some fresh perspectives from college that might help." A small flicker of optimism ignited. This could work. Each of them, with their unique strengths, could come together. Ryan felt the weight of doubt lift, leaving behind a glimmer of hope. "Let us meet tomorrow," he decided, breathing out a heated breath. "We can hash out the details." As the group began to gather their things, Ryan caught Maya's eye, and time seemed to stop for just a second. Her smile was bright, a beacon cutting through the chaos. The triplets were buzzing about cotton candy and games, and for that moment, everything felt almost right. But then a frown creased Maya's brow as she noticed Alex's lingering presence. "Are you going to stick around?" she asked pointedly, her tone frosty. "I'm in until the end," Alex replied smoothly, though tension laced his voice. "We'll see about that," Ryan mumbled under his breath as they all started to move toward the door. Outside, the evening air was cool, grounding Ryan. He felt a weight heavier than before, knowing they had rid themselves of uncertainty but welcoming chaos at the very same time. A carnival? What had they gotten into? His heart thudded uncomfortably against his ribs. He looked back to see Maya laughing with the triplets, and for the first time in a long time, he felt a flicker of excitement amidst the chaos. But that flicker was darkened by a nagging feeling. Was it really all going to come together? Or was chaos truly what they were inviting? As they headed their various ways, Ryan couldn't shake the question burning in his mind. What would tomorrow bring, and could they really pull this off together? The next day dawned bright and clear, with the sun spilling golden light over the sleepy town. Ryan's mind raced as he prepared for the meeting. He paced his small living room, anticipation sparking anxiety. How had things changed so fast? Just yesterday, Maya's presence reignited memories he thought were buried. But now, with the day stretching out before them, would it hold the promise of something new or the weight of old wounds? His phone buzzed, pulling him from his thoughts. A message from Maya flashed on the screen. "Ready for today? Bring your best ideas." He smiled at her enthusiasm, a welcome contrast to his own swirling uncertainties. He arrived at the community center where they had decided to meet, the triplets chatting excitedly about games and cotton candy, their innocence drawing a smile from Ryan. But his gaze quickly shifted to Maya, who stood at the whiteboard with markers in hand, an air of determination surrounding her. "Hey team, let us get started," she called, drawing the others in with her infectious energy. The nervousness that had been weighing on Ryan began to lift as he found a place beside her. As the meeting unfolded, ideas flowed like a river during spring thaw. The triplets were full of imaginative suggestions: an obstacle course, a dunk tank, and even a petting zoo. Maya amplified their enthusiasm, sharing her insights from college, and before long, Ryan felt a tingling sensation in his heart. "Let us make this carnival more than just fun," Maya suggested, her eyes sparkling. "We can include a charity aspect, raise money for local schools or shelters." The room hummed with excitement. Ryan watched her, captivated by her passion. She was home. This was their town, their community, and together they were improving it. But underneath all that positivity, Ryan felt a tug of doubt. Every move they made felt like balancing on a tightrope. Could he really trust Maya? Could he trust Alex? Who he started to realize wasn't he just the snarky rival he once thought. "So we're all in?" Ryan asked, breaking the bubble of energy that had filled the space. "This is happening?" "Absolutely," Emily shouted, her fist pumping the air as the others cheered in agreement. Just then, Alex entered the room, his arms crossed and his face a mask of skepticism. "What's going on here? A secret meeting without me?" His voice dripped with sarcasm, and tension crackled like static in the air. Ryan's heart sank. "We're planning the carnival, Alex. You were invited." "Invited? Huh? Sounds like I'm more of an afterthought." Maya stepped forward, unwavering. We need everyone on board to make this work. Alex, this is about building good memories together, not tearing each other down. Ryan felt a spark of pride at Maya's courage. It was more than he anticipated from the girl he'd known before. But Alex's response surprised them all. Instead of firing back with another jab, he simply shrugged. Fine. What do you need from me? It was a crack in his armor, and Ryan seized the chance. We need sponsorships. Your family runs that business, right? Can you help? The way Alex looked at Ryan shifted something in the atmosphere. He nodded, albeit begrudgingly. Yeah, I can talk to my dad. By the meeting's end, they had divided tasks and made plans for every detail. Ryan felt a strange mix of satisfaction and nervousness as he ventured outside into the warm sun. They really might pull this off, but what other changes would come with it? Maya lingered for a moment, catching Ryan's eye. See? We can do this together. She smiled, confidence radiating from her. Yeah, together, he echoed, but uncertainty started to creep back in. He couldn't shake the feeling there were deeper issues lurking beneath the surface. But as he watched her walk away, that flicker of hope ignited again. The question that hung in the air grew louder. What else was waiting to unfold as they ventured further into this chaos together? The next morning, Ryan awoke early, the weight of what lay ahead pressing down on him. Today was the day they would unveil their carnival plans to the community. He made coffee, the rich aroma swirling through his small apartment, but he couldn't shake off the knot in his stomach. His phone buzzed. It was Maya. Let us meet at the community center in an hour. I can't wait to bring this to life. The infectious enthusiasm in her text nudged him toward anticipation instead of dread. He quickly dressed, willing himself to channel her excitement. When he arrived, a flurry of activity engulfed the center. Bright banners were being hung, tables were being set up, and the smell of glue from art projects filled the air. Maya stood in the midst of the chaos, directing volunteers, her laughter ringing out like music. Ryan, you made it, she exclaimed, running over to him, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Yeah, I wouldn't miss it, he replied, a smile creeping across his face. But deeper within, the chaos wasn't just external. He worried about Alex if he would come through. Maya grabbed him by the arm, leading him to a group of volunteers. This is where we'll set up the games, and over there will be the food stalls. She pointed animatedly at different spots, and Ryan couldn't help but admire her confidence. The hours flew by. The excitement in the air was palpable. People shuffled in and out, sharing ideas and contributions. Ryan found himself lost among the laughter and chatter, working side by side with Maya. Every moment spent helping her reignited memories of their past friendship. It felt good to be part of something greater than himself. But as the sun began to set, uncertainty crept back into his thoughts. Have you heard from Alex? He asked, trying to sound casual. Maya frowned, glancing toward the entrance. Not yet. I hope he shows. A chill crawled through Ryan. Could Alex back out? Just then, the doors swung open. Alex stepped in, his familiar skepticism evident, but this time, there was a softened expression on his face. Hey, his voice cut through the chatter. I talked to my dad. He's in for a sponsorship. Cheers erupted, and Ryan's heart soared. But Alex's gaze remained steady on Ryan, gauging his reaction. That's great, Alex. Thank you, Ryan said. He meant it, even if there was still tension between them. Maya approached Alex, her grin wide. Really? That's awesome. This carnival is going to be amazing. Thanks to you. Yeah, don't make too big a deal out of it, Alex shrugged, but there was a hint of a smile on his lips. They spent the evening preparing the final details, laughter bouncing around them. It felt like a real team was forming, and maybe, just maybe, differences could be set aside for a greater good. As Ryan stood back and took in the scene, the bustling community center, the laughter, the smiles, and the friendships starting to blossom, hope glimmered within him. But as he shared a moment with Maya, her laughter filling the air, a weight pressed upon him. Could this fragile peace hold? Could he and Maya really rekindle what they once had amidst all this chaos? Just then, a distant clap of thunder rumbled, resonating ominously outside. The weather had been unpredictable lately. They looked at each other, the playful banter fading away for a moment. What if the rain ruins everything? Ryan whispered, the uncertainty creeping in. Maya held his gaze. We'll tackle it just like we're tackling everything else. Together. Her confidence struck a spark in him, even as the thunder echoed once more. But as the night drew closer, he couldn't shake the feeling that the upcoming carnival wasn't just a test of their teamwork. It was a test of their resilience in ways they didn't yet realize. With a night full of uncertainty ahead, Ryan wondered, could this carnival be the spark they needed to ignite not just the community, but also their own futures? The storm outside was nothing compared to the tempest brewing within. The next morning dawned gray and dreary, the thick clouds hanging low as if mirroring Ryan's anxiety. He sat at his kitchen table, coffee forgotten, watching raindrops dance down the window. An unease settled in his stomach. Today was the day they would present their carnival idea to the community, and he was terrified. His phone buzzed again, breaking his concentration. A message from Maya flashed on the screen. Don't worry about the weather. People are excited. Let us shine today. Her positive spirit was a lifeline, and he clung to the community center. The atmosphere was electric despite the rain drumming against the roof. Volunteers milled about, some carrying colorful decorations, others setting up tables. He spotted Maya across the hall, rallying the troops with her trademark enthusiasm. Her laughter lifted his spirits, and he felt himself drawn toward her. Hey! Ryan approached, and she turned, her expression lighting up instantly. Ryan, you're here. We can use your help with the banners, she said, gesturing toward a table laden with bright rolls of fabric. Acknowledged. He grinned, feeling a surge of energy from her unwavering positivity as they worked side by side. The rain rattled against the windows, a steady reminder of the unpredictable day ahead. Yet, within the chaos, he found solace in the small moments. Her gentle laughter, the way her brow furrowed when she was deep in thought, and the spark of determination in her eyes. Something funny? Maya suddenly asked, catching him staring. Just thinking about how much you love this idea, Ryan admitted. You really pour your heart into everything. Her cheeks flushed, and for a moment, the world around them faded. I believe in our community, Ryan, and I believe in you. Her words wrapped around him like a warm blanket, igniting a flicker of hope inside. But just then, Alex strode through the doors, shaking off rainwater. Ryan's heart sank. He still felt the weight of unresolved tension between them. Sorry I'm late, Alex said, his tone clipped yet sincere. No problem. Just in time to help. Ryan chirped too brightly, forcing a smile. He felt Maya's gaze flicker between them but said nothing as the three of them huddled around a table. Ideas began to flow. They mapped out carnival games, performances, and food stalls. Amidst laughter, there was an underlying tension. They worked seamlessly, but every interaction with Alex felt strained, as if they were walking on eggshells. Ryan couldn't help but wonder whether this carnival could heal their fractured ties. Hours slipped away, and the sun finally peeked through the curtain of clouds. Starting to clear up, Maya beamed, her excitement infectious. Perfect timing for the carnival, Alex said, and for a moment, they all shared a glance of relief. Perhaps this was a turning point for them all. Just then, Ryan caught a glimpse of the community members beginning to gather outside. A wave of trepidation washed over him. What if things didn't go as planned? What if they couldn't overcome the doubts that whispered to him in quiet moments? Are you ready for this? Maya asked, her eyes searching his. Ryan took a deep breath. I hope so. We just need to be on the same page. Maya nodded, her determination matching his. They stepped outside, embracing the fresh scent of rain and grass. The energy of the crowd was palpable, their voices rising in anticipation. As Ryan looked out at the gathering crowd, his heart raced. What if this was the moment that could change everything for them? And then, as they prepared to speak, a deafening clap of thunder tore through the air. People turned, their smiles faltering. The sky darkened ominously once more, and Ryan felt his stomach drop. Not again, he muttered, glancing at Maya, who was just as unsettled. Could they truly pull this off? Or was this the beginning of a storm they couldn't weather together? A new uncertainty loomed over them as the crowd murmured and shifted, and Ryan feared the worst was yet to come. Ryan stepped to the front of the crowd, heart pounding like a bass drum. The air was thick with anticipation, and the dark clouds hung low, threatening to spill their contents at any moment. He looked back at Maya, her unwavering determination shining brightly even amidst the shadows of doubt. She nodded, a silent reminder we can do this. Hey everyone, Ryan shouted, trying to inject energy into his voice, though he felt the weight of 1,000 eyes on him. The crowd quieted, curious and tense. They were here for change, for hope. This carnival is for you, our community, he continued, pride flooding his voice. We want this to be a celebration, a chance to come together, support each other, and build something beautiful. Not just for ourselves but for our kids. And each other. Applause broke out, muffled but sincere. The nervous energy shifted slightly, and Ryan felt a flicker of relief. And I know you all have doubts, he pressed on, glancing over at Sarah and the triplets, who were bouncing at the front, eyes beaming with excitement. But I promise you, I'm here to be a part of this community, not above it. I've learned a lot in the past few weeks, and it's changed me. I want to give back, not just through money, but through love and dedication. Maya stepped up beside him, a bright beacon in the swirling gray clouds. We've all got together. This is a team effort, and we need each of you to join in and make this happen. Let us show everyone what this community can do. Ryan could sense the shift. The crowd began to lean in, encouraged by their shared presence, the shadows lifting just a tad. Each clapping hand felt like a heart beating alongside his united. Suddenly, the sky opened up, pouring rain over them. Gasps echoed, but Ryan felt an overwhelming sense of clarity among the chaos. It's all right, he shouted, raising both hands. Sometimes we have to dance in the rain. The crowd erupted into laughter as Sarah pulled the triplets closer, their smiles shining through the storm. Mai, caught in the moment, echoed his sentiment, her voice warm amidst the downpour. Exactly. Let us not let a little rain dampen our spirits. And as the rain fell, Ryan felt a presence deeper than mere acceptance. Forgiveness began to wash through the crowd. Familiar faces began to smile at one another, sharing a connection that hadn't been felt in years. Let us get this carnival started, Ryan yelled, feeling the tide of the crowd shift, unity forging in the stormy air. The cheers rang out, louder than the thunder. Minutes later, the carnival was a live game set up, booths swaying even in the downpour. People gathered, laughter mingling with the sound of rain. A true celebration blossoming in the heart of the storm. Alex stood next to Ryan, an uncharacteristic smile teasing his lips. This may actually work, he said, his eyes brighter than before. Ryan nodded, the doubt that had gripped him loosening its hold. We're building something together, Alex. Not just a carnival, a community. As the late afternoon sun finally broke through the clouds, Maya turned, catching Ryan's gaze. If we can make it through this, we can make it through anything, she said, her voice rich with understanding. Time passed, laughter filled their surroundings, and smiles transcended whispers of skepticism. As they ran carnival games, Ryan felt the joy swell within him, each small moment building a foundation stronger than anything he had ever built before. By the end of the day, as dusk settled and the stars began to peek through the clearing sky, Ryan found himself surrounded by the triplets, their faces lit with excitement, a visual echo of hope. He glanced around, taking in the spirit a vibrant tapestry of connections woven tight with laughter, kindness, and an emerging love that even the storm couldn't wash away. Together, he murmured, contemplating all that had shifted. He may have come into this community as an outsider, but he had been gifted with the most precious of treasures: family, laughter, a new beginning. And it hit him, deep within, love in its most beautiful and chaotic forms is what he had longed for, and now, he felt it slipping into place like final puzzle pieces, all thanks to a chance meeting in a small park. As the carnival buzz faded into the peaceful night, Ryan realized he was exactly where he was meant to be. And finally, he knew the carnival was just the beginning. Now I must urge you, this is the moment to show your support. You need to subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help more people discover these heartwarming tales. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this beautiful ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting our journey together.